Beauties, listen, I told you I was going to do it, and here we are, 6 months later, from the first 28-day body challenge. And I told you my entire goal is not just to get results for the end of that 28 days, but to make sure that I can sustain that for the long haul. And we've come to that point to see if I have, okay? Stay tuned.
Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh.
All right, y'all, so let's go ahead and jump right into the video. As I stated, this is a 6 months update for my very first 28-day body challenge. And it was all about increasing my cardio so that I could lose some weight off of my legs, and wanted to see if we sustained throughout, because that is the goal for all of my challenges. I want to see results at the end of the 28 days, but ultimately I want to be able to sustain whatever I'm doing over a long period of time, that I can continue to do that and just create a lot of new habits that I can just do for the long haul. Okay, so was I successful? I think I was. I think I was, and I just want to kind of give you a few tips on what worked for me. Again, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Okay, and if you do like what you see or what you hear, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you can return. All right, so a little bit of background. I have always been heavy. My weight has fluctuated my entire life. I have done every diet, every juicing, every fast that you can think of. A lot of it was very unhealthy over time, and I'm sure it has made a negative impact on my body. I'm not sure of it, right? I haven't actually seen the impact that it's made, but I'm sure all of the bad choices that I took on trying to lose weight has affected me, right? And so I'm getting older, and I just kind of got to a point where I would say about 3 years ago, I just no longer wanted to diet. I was tired of dieting. I was tired of being a slave to the number on the scale. And I wanted to just be healthier. And so it was all about trial and error and trying to find a way that I can be more healthy over time and lose weight the healthy way, as opposed to just dieting. And so that was the start of the journey. Now, I did kind of start keto during that time, I guess, to kind of jumpstart. As much as I did like keto, and I did see results from it, I also knew that that was something I just couldn't sustain for a very long time. Now, for other people, that may work for you, but for me, it just was not a good algorithm for my body. So I had to try to find something else. So fast forward until last year, around July, August, what really sparked the change, or me wanting to do something even more drastic, was the fact that my body, my health, started to play a part. And I don't know about you, but when you're just not feeling well, when your health, you know, when something starts to bother your health, you want to get that resolved, or at least I did. And so I started to have nerve problems. I wasn't feeling well, my best, feeling lack of energy day in and day out. Some days I felt better, some days I didn't. But then specifically, I started having nerve problems, like shooting nerves through my body, from my back all the way through my entire body. And I would literally do this to reset my body like every minute or so, because that was the type of pain that I had. So I went to the doctor, got so many different diagnoses, all around the same. And the main diagnosis was, there's not anything you can do to change this overnight, but you can introduce new, you know, healthier habits, like your posture and things like this, to kind of manage it. And y'all, the first thing that came to my mind was, I don't want to live the rest of my life popping pills to feel good. And my entire perspective started to change. And so from that point on, I did my research, and I wanted to do it the natural way, because I know people that live by taking pills every day to manage, and I just didn't want to do that. And so I started doing my research for herbal treatments, natural ways to heal my body. And I came across one book by Queen Afua. Wonderful read for natural healing, for natural things to do for your body. Now, I can say that I did not incorporate everything that was in the book. I did take away some things that I felt like were going to benefit me at the time, but it's a wonderful read, okay? And one of the things that stood out for me in that book for healing was fasting and resetting your body, and to fast to see what's in your body, what toxins are in your body, and things of that nature. And I was really desperate at this time, right? And so pretty much I had a work trip to go to. I had to travel, take a flight. I was there for about a week. I didn't want to start that fast at that time, but I knew when I returned I was going to do it. Now, this is very drastic for me. I would not recommend this for people that have not done it. I know intermittent fasting and things of that nature, I do encourage that because it's wonderful. But for me, because I was in so much pain, I needed to do something drastic, and I'm not a stranger to fasting. My father's a minister, so I understand some of the benefits that come from it. I've just never fast without food, period. And that's what I did. I did water and a natural juice, which is apple juice of my choice, and I did that for 7 days. But when I returned and I did that, it was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. But I wouldn't change it for anything, because literally my partner asked me after the 7 days, it was probably like day 9. I had already stopped fasting, but he asked me a couple days later, he was like, so how's your pain going? How's your nerves? And I was just like, I had to sit there and reflect and be like, I don't have it anymore. I don't have it anymore. That is when I realized this is something that I need to incorporate in my life for the long haul. And that was the start. And I still don't have it. It has never come back, but it just kind of made me realize that my health needs to be at the forefront, not looking good, not trying to keep up with the Joneses, not trying to please whoever with my body. My health is first. And that was the start of where we are today. All right, so once that fast kind of kicked in, and I know that worked for me, what that fast did, not only did it help me with the body aches and the pains that I had, but it increased my discipline. And every time I did it thereafter has increased my discipline. It kind of, it helped me to understand when I'm actually hungry and when I'm not. So many different things. And so again, I would definitely recommend you figuring out what works for you. This was trial and error for me. Again, I did drastic for the first time, but I don't continue to do that drastic. I do intermittent fasting and figure out what works for my body. And that is what I encourage you all to do. Start slow, right? But that was my first thing. It was the change in my mindset. It was, you're not doing this just to look good. You're doing this to stay healthy. You're doing this because I have 2 sons, which I adore, and that's an understatement, but I have a neurotypical son and I have a special needs son. And I want to be around for them. And I know my oldest son, my neurotypical, is going to be able to take care of himself. But my special needs, the growth that he's had is tremendous. But to be completely honest, I knew I wanted to be healthy to stay around long enough to make sure that he's going to be able to take care of himself in this world without me. Because I also know that I'm the driving force for him. And I want to make sure that he's going to be good. And I have to be around and healthy to be able to do that, because it takes a lot of energy, a lot of patience on my end. And so my health, me wanting to be there for my kids, me wanting to be my best. My channel is all about beauty and personal development. And so over the last 6 years, it's been about being better. I really want to be better than what I was. It's become more of an obsession today. And it started internally. being better, finding things that work for me, increasing my spiritual intelligence with my creator, increasing my emotional intelligence, increasing my relational intelligence, how I treat others. I can go into that, but I don't want to go into that. But it was always been about being better. And so me being my best, what I realized and actually was honest with myself, I've been doing a lot of things the wrong way, expecting a different result. And that's just not going to happen. So I had to find something, I had to find another way that works. Because what I've been doing hasn't been working, or if it works, it's short term and I go back to the same. And so I want to make sure I continue to grow all the time, right? And so, yeah, those were my moving forces. Those were my triggers to try to make this happen. And so that's what I would encourage. Your mindset, figure out what you're doing and why you're doing it. What is the reason for it? And last but not least on that list is I do want to look good. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I don't want to look good in what I wear, the clothing that I wear. I do. It's just no longer the first thing. It's like number 4, right, or 5, because those other things that are in line are so much more important to me. And so that is what keeps me motivated, because every day I'm not motivated. There are more days out of most days I don't want to do it. But I do it because I know I need to, and I know it's going to make me more healthy, and it's going to increase my, increase the time that I'm here. And so that's what keeps me going, right? So that was the first thing, mindset. 2 was my physical activity. I have always been kind of physical. I've never been sedentary like that. Like, I've always walked. That was something that my family incorporated in me at a very young age. Even though I was heavy, we always walked. That's why I knew in order for me to make a transformation in my body, walking was not going to be enough for me. I needed to incorporate other things, a little bit heavier, more intense cardio. So at the start of my 28-day challenge, 6 months ago, I started with the mini stepper, which I do still adore. But I got to say, over time, I did kind of incorporate new cardio. And for me, jumping jacks has been one more recent, because it does the job for me. I'm extremely tired and worn out with it. So jumping jacks on top of weight training and other focus training has been wonderful for me. I do also try to work out 3 to 4 times a week. That is how I've been maintaining. I started off on the 28-day challenges trying to work between 4 to 5 days a week. And to maintain, I reduced that to about 3 to 4 days a week, because life is happening, right? I'm a mom. I work full time. I have a foundation that I'm passionate about helping other women. And so I got a lot on my plate. And so I need to make whatever I'm doing easy and simple. It's got to be, in order for me to sustain it. And so that is what it is. And so simple workouts. If it's not my stepper for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then adding other exercises on that, it's jumping jacks. Simple exercises that I can partake in along with the other exercises, and doing that 3 to 4 days a week is how I've been maintaining that. Number 3 is going to definitely be my food intake. I never liked counting calories. I can't say I really do now, but now I understand that I really need to do it. I'm not a stickler. I'm not very specific on it. Like, I'm not counting every 1, 2, 3 calories that I intake, but I do know the range of my calories. And so I had to try to figure out what calorie intake was going to help me to maintain my weight, and then how many calories can I intake to help me lose weight. Again, that's been trial and error for me too. What I've learned is if I can stay around the 1500 mark, and again, I do ranges because ranges just work psychologically better for me than a specific number. I know if I can stay in this range, then I'm pretty good. And so 1500 to about 1700 is what I can kind of stay in to maintain. If I want to lose, then it's going to be less than that. So it's going to be somewhere around that 1300 mark for me to lose. So about 500 calories less than that 17 or that max Yeah, so somewhere around 1250 to 1300, give or take, is what I can do, what I can take in to lose weight. If I want to maintain where I am, then I can stay at around that 15 to 17 mark. That is just what I've learned about my body, again, with trial and error. And so that's what you have to figure out, okay? There's not a one plan to fit everybody. You have to figure out what works for you. And stick to that, okay? Everything that I'm telling you today, I'm telling you what works for me. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not telling you that everything that I do is going to work for you, but I am giving you practical tips that I have used to help me get to where I am, right? And so my calorie intake is something that I've really had to focus on. It's not, you know, I do track them. I do kind of track with an app, and I'll post that app down in the description box below that I use to track what I eat, but then also what I drink, which is a lot of water. I could definitely improve in that area because I like Coke Zeros and things like that. But over time, I have incorporated more water in my diet. Right now, I'm at about a liter, a little bit over a liter a day. I'm trying to increase that steadily. Probably gonna be doing a water challenge here really soon to make sure I can get into more of a habit of doing more, but increasing my water intake and decreasing everything else. I do apple juice a lot, 100% apple juice, especially when I do fast. And coffee, black coffee. Every now and again, I don't wear that out often either. But that is, water has been significant for me. So yes, those three things: my mindset, my physical activity, my food intake, my water intake. And then I would also say what hacks work for me. I have a few hacks that just work for me. Again, you can figure out what works for you. But a couple of those hacks is going to be, the first thing in the morning, I can drink a bottle of water. It's going to set the tone for me. I usually don't eat until after noon. I'm not a big breakfast person, but starting my day off with that definitely is a way to make me feel full for a longer period of time. Another hack is, for me, I try not to eat everything on my plate. I try to eat half of whatever I'm eating. Just to kind of go back to what I intake, I do eat carbs, I do eat fats. I don't deprive myself of the things that I like, but I do manage how much of it I eat. And so, with that being said, because I'm not depriving myself, I have to be very intentional about how much I take in. And so that's that hack for me. I eat half of it. So if I know I'm going to go get me a fry from McDonald's, which is my guilty pleasure, I'm going to eat half of that medium fry. So I get what I want, but not overdoing it, if that makes sense. If I'm cooking at home and whatever it is I'm making, I try to eat half of that. That does not work for me every time, but that's just always in the back of my head. It's just something that I do now. And if I eat more than half, I at least try not to eat all of it. And that has helped me with how much I'm eating. Also, the fasting for me. Figuring out the fasting definitely lets me know sometimes I'm not hungry when I feel like I am. And so that increased my discipline and my patience as well. It made me more patient because I'm no longer trying to lose weight quickly or the quick fix. I had to become okay with losing weight over time and understanding it's more healthier and more beneficial for me. And so with that being said, those are the hacks. Again, that's a mental thing for me. It's not right now. I had to really be okay with knowing the things that I'm doing is going to create results for me in the long run. Even though I can't see it now, I will see it. And what keeps me going is when I do see the improvement or when I do see results, that keeps me going to the next time, okay? And so I had to get out of the mindset for the right now result because the right now result is what I've been doing for years. I had to be okay with doing a little bit over time and seeing that progress, because that progress over time has helped me to sustain, okay? And I'm still a work in progress. I'm still continuing. It's a day in and day out thing. I'm still continuing to grow, right? And so, yeah, I'll have many more updates after this. So I hope this was helpful for everybody that's on their journey, whether it be weight loss, whether it be your spiritual intelligence, whether it be emotional growth, your mental health, whatever that may be. You're worth it. Continue to put in that time and that effort. Continue to put yourself first so that you're healthy. In order for you to take care of everybody else around you and make sure everything else is moving, you have to be healthy. So make sure that you put that before everything else, okay? Yeah, leave those comments, questions below. I want to hear from you. And stay tuned for some of the other updates that are coming, okay? Till the next time, stay sweet. Be a blessing to someone else if you can. You and your family stay blessed as well. Sheba is signing off. To the next one. Bye-bye.
Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry.